I assure you, your eyes shall well up with elation, not sorrow. Your question may be, why tears of joy? The answer lies in the God who observes the moments you shed tears of distress, who applauds your earnest endeavors, your humble pursuit. He sees all the times when your resilience refused to wane, and you continued to yearn for a closer communion with Him, no matter how high the tide. Consider how completely you commit yourself to His calling, wherever in life it takes you. Even if it's a seemingly minor task, you engage with it passionately, with utmost dedication. Every deed, every act, you carry out with the intention of serving God. God understands the complexity of this pursuit. Indeed, it is a struggle, not a cakewalk. Many venture into the path of Christianity with a vision of an eternal summer, a continuous rainbow arching across the sky. Little do they realize, God's way often leads you through purifying fires and refining storms, shaping you in His image. This process often necessitates stripping away worldly entanglements. Indeed, it's no effortless task to untangle from worldly distractions, to shed its heavy yoke. However, the key is to trade this burden for Jesus' yoke, for God's light. To remain steadfast in this exchange is a ceaseless struggle. Many may not comprehend the rigor of this spiritual battle, but God sees it all. He admires your obedience, your unswerving faithfulness. Why does He honor this? First, you're His beloved child. Second, He acknowledges the sacrifices you have made. Third, He realizes the difficulty of the path you've taken. Indeed, the path is fraught with challenges. God has witnessed your separation from individuals no longer compatible with your spiritual journey, those no longer fitting in the grand design of your purpose. He's noted the occupations you've relinquished that contradicted your core values and morals. You've made significant sacrifices. God has seen the worldly pursuits you've had to forego to walk His path, to fulfill His divine calling. He appreciates your allegiance to His way, your obedience, and honors it. How can I be so sure of your unwavering pursuit of God's kingdom? Because you're attuning your ears to this message now. Those who are not in earnest, persistent pursuit of God, who aren't aligning their steps with the divine plan, aren't heeding messages of this nature. While most are consumed by their daily grind, so engrossed in their individual pursuits that it fills the majority of their hours, you are here, tuned in, present, and open to the divine words that are destined for your ears alone. This is no coincidence. You are here because God has a purpose for you that extends beyond the mundane. His gaze is upon you at this very moment. God observes as you strive, push, and journey closer towards His divine love and wisdom, yearning for the blessings He reserves just for you. He is witness to your tears of surrender as you relinquish what no longer serves you. It was revealed to me during my time of prayer that soon these tears of sadness would transform into tears of profound joy. This revelation wasn't exclusively for me, but a divine decree intended for all His children. To articulate this divine message, I was guided to Psalm 40, verse 1, a sentiment that David, the shepherd boy turned king, penned. It says, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry." David's despair and God's solace echoes in these words. Just as God heard David's pleas born from sorrow, so too will He hear yours. And like a benevolent sculptor, He will mold your sorrow into elation. In the depths of our desolation, God lifts us from the abyss, placing us firmly on a solid rock of unwavering faith. This transformation, from our lowest point to a place of strength, is followed by a joyous new melody that springs from our lips, a hymn of praise to our God. When the tears of sadness fall, they fall due to the uncertainty that hangs heavily in our hearts about what lies ahead, the fear of the unknown, the dread of what tomorrow, next week, or even next year might bring. There's a sense of trepidation that accompanies letting go, bidding farewell to the familiar, without any inkling of what will fill the void. It's a daunting prospect, enough to drive one to tears. But rest assured, in the aftermath of the storm, God ensures a rainbow of joy adorns your sky. I cannot pinpoint the source of your sorrow, the loss that you've had to endure, or the path you've had to abandon. Yet, I can assure you, God has seen it all. God, in His infinite wisdom, acknowledges your sacrifice and the courage it took. He has a plan for replacement and restoration. It won't just be a simple exchange, but a divine upgrade, far surpassing what you had to let go. No matter what you have lost, be it financial, relational, or something deeply personal from years ago or just recently, I assure you, God is fully aware. He resides in your heart, experiencing every tear that you shed. He is poised to restore all that was lost and bring something far superior, something that will trigger tears of pure joy because He has always been with you, sharing your journey. God has seen your tears of sorrow, and now He promises to give you a reason for tears of joy. In the words of David, He has placed a new song in your mouth. This new hymn, sung in your rejuvenated spirit, will be a testament of God's faithfulness that will inspire others to trust Him. The one who places their trust in God is indeed blessed. Trust in His timing, His wisdom, His mercy, and His love, for He promises a blessing beyond measure. There's a profound depth that surrounds this notion, the sheer magnitude that springs forth from the simple yet profound act of surrendering all to the Lord. It's a deliberate choice, a purposeful decision to steer clear from vanity and the allure of false deities, a resolute act of setting one's sights on God's grand design. Consider the times when you've chosen to commit your time, an invaluable asset, to God. These were moments you could have spent immersed in worldly pursuits, but instead, you elected to dwell in the Lord's presence, absorbing the wisdom of His word. Think of those instances when you were presented with the opportunity to join a corporation, a path that promised higher income. Yet, something within you echoed, "This is not my journey." So you decided to follow the path the Lord had charted for you. You chose to remain rooted in faith, believing that even though the fruits of your labor might not be visible at the moment, they would inevitably sprout in God's perfect timing. God has borne witness to these instances. He has observed as you mustered the courage to walk away from relationships that weren't aligning with His divine plan for you. You might have endured tormenting loneliness, a cruel trick of the enemy trying to dissuade you from your holy path. But God has seen it all. He has noticed every detail, every nuanced choice of your life, no matter how small. His omniscient gaze misses nothing. I assure you, your unwavering dedication, your consistent pursuit of God will bear fruit. There are tears of joy waiting to break forth. They will replace those of despair, offering you a taste of God's restorative power. The beauty of God's intervention lies in its transformative power. He doesn't merely restore, He brings forth the new. You might be amazed at the delightful surprises He has in store for you, blessings that you didn't even anticipate. God has a unique way of making your past losses irrelevant. He immerses you so thoroughly in His abundant blessings that you find yourself lost in the divine present, forgetting the heartbreaks of your past. Let me share with you from the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. These verses illuminate a profound truth. Every act we perform, no matter how small, should be dedicated to the Lord. We aren't seeking validation from others, nor are we trying to fit into specific societal molds. We're serving the Lord, and this service, pure and selfless, brings immense joy to God. And rest assured, for such acts of service, God rewards in kind. The time will come when your tears of sorrow will transform into tears of joy. As I've mentioned before, you'll experience the full circle moment, the divine turning point where you look back and marvel at the journey. You'll reminisce about those days when you wept over similar circumstances, and now find yourself rejoicing over how God has repurposed them for your good. Perhaps there was a time when you grieved over a failed job application, a broken relationship, or endured mistreatment. However, the transformation of your sorrow into joy will affirm God's benevolent presence in your life. So, be patient, for the divine turnaround is near. There's a rhythmic pulse to life, a pattern that's often elusive, and yet distinctively bears the signature of God. It may be years before the notes align in harmony, the echoes of past struggles rebounding to form a melody of triumph. Imagine you're in the midst of a familiar scene, a déjà vu of hardship, but suddenly the narrative flips. Why? Because God has a profound propensity for turning tables, for taking that which was meant for your pain and shaping it into a source of joy and strength. Imagine those who have experienced the anguish of disrespect, the gut-wrenching sting of abandonment. Their tears, once a testament to their heartbreak, will soon be an expression of joy as God ushers someone new into their lives. This person, unlike the one before, will value them, honor them, and truly appreciate their worth. They will be a living testament to God's ability to reverse our fortunes, to paint vibrant streaks of joy over our canvas of sorrow. And then there are those who are wrestling with illness, every breath an uphill battle. But they too will shed tears of joy because God, in His infinite mercy, will grant them healing. Their cries of despair will be replaced by shouts of praise. Their dance of mourning will morph into a dance of joy. God, you see, is the grand conductor of our lives, setting the rhythm and the tone, harmonizing our dissonant chords into a symphony of redemption. Now, some of you have already experienced this profound transformation. You've tasted the bittersweet tears of joy that spring from hardships turned to victories. If you're one of those blessed souls, I encourage you to share your journey in the comments below. Your testimonies are powerful. They are beacons of hope, helping others navigate the stormy seas of their struggles. For I too have known the binding shackles of financial constraints, have felt the crushing weight of unfulfilled desires. Yet I've learned that sowing seeds of faith into these areas of our lives can bring about a divine harvest. It's about intertwining our faith with action, about demonstrating to God that we are not merely wishful thinkers, but active participants in His plan. I don't just plant a seed and leave it to its fate. No, I actively tend to it, constantly checking on its progress, whispering prayers over it, nurturing it with expectation and surrender. There's a sense of co-creation in this, a partnership with God where I say, "Look, I have done my part. I have sown the seed and now I wait for your miracle to unfold." But understand this, releasing it fully into His hands does not mean we forget about it. Rather, it signifies a profound understanding of a divine principle, that what we give in faith and expectation will inevitably return to us, multiplied and blessed. We don't merely sow seeds, we sow the essence of our faith, the belief in a God who can take our meager offerings and multiply them beyond our wildest dreams. That's the transformative power of His love. It turns our hardships into joy, our tears into laughter, and our sown seeds into a bountiful harvest. Like the video and type Amen if you trust in the Lord. Please support our ministry by clicking the thanks button, and please consider joining us as a cherished member. Your generosity uplifts our mission. God bless you.